Hello students, let's quickly go through a short summary. Chapter 12 explains how grassroots democracy functions in urban areas through urban local bodies, ULBS, which ensure decentralized governance and active citizen participation. The chapter begins with Rustam K. Sidwa's vision that local bodies should help citizens understand rights, responsibilities, powers, and administration in their own town or village. After learning about rural self governance in the previous chapter, this part focuses on how participatory democracy works in cities, where governance is more complex because of larger populations and diverse needs. Urban local bodies, such as municipal corporations, municipal councils, and Nagar Panchayats, allow people living in cities and towns to make collective decisions about their surroundings. These bodies are formed by dividing the city into smaller units called wards, each represented by elected members. Ward committees handle day to day issues like health camps, plastic ban campaigns, water leakage, blocked drainage, damaged roads, and waste management. Their functioning differs from state to state, but all aim to bring administration closer to the people. Urban local bodies handle essential services, maintaining infrastructure, collecting garbage, managing burial grounds, implementing government schemes, collecting taxes and fines, and planning economic and social development. However, for these institutions to work effectively, citizens must also fulfill their civic duties. Small actions like segregating waste, reporting public issues on time, or preventing water wastage strengthen local governance. The chapter briefly highlights the history of urban governance by mentioning the Greater Chennai Corporation, India's oldest municipal body formed in 1688. Today, cities with a population over 10 lakh have a municipal corporation. Cities between 1 and 10 lakh have a municipal council, and smaller towns have a Nagar Panchayat. To explain the difference between rural and urban life, the chapter uses a conversation between two children, Samir from a village and Anita from a city. Their dialogue shows how community life varies. Villages are closely knit, with everyone participating in decision making, while cities are busier and more individualistic. Nevertheless, urban people also show community spirit during emergencies, and both rural panchayats and urban bodies share the same democratic principle. Every voice matters. Anita explains how urban local bodies respond during disasters, while Samir describes how even children can raise concerns in village meetings, such as reporting a dangerous electricity wire. This comparison helps students understand that although city governance may seem more complicated because of large populations, the purpose remains the same: ensuring people's well being through participation and representation. Like panchayats, urban bodies have elected representatives who work for the public and are accountable to citizens. The chapter ends by emphasizing that decentralized urban governance is necessary for efficient management of public services and for strengthening democracy. Local bodies must work together with citizens to improve the quality of life, ensure timely problem solving, and promote environmental responsibility, social welfare, and sustainable development. Just like in rural areas, the success of urban governance depends on citizens who actively participate, stay informed, follow civic rules, and support their local administration. Thus, the chapter highlights that grassroots democracy thrives when people at the local level, whether in villages or cities, engage responsibly with their governing institutions, making India's democratic system stronger and more effective. Thank you for watching. Learn smarter and practice better. Download our app.